Hello everyone and welcome back for another edition of 8 Minutes with Aaron. I am of course your host Aaron, and today we are going to talk about Monday Night Raw that took place on September 15th, 2025 at the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. So let's get rolling with a fresh edition of this guy right here, Aaron. All right. We got Wrestlepalooza that's coming up on Saturday, and I do not have ESPN Plus. I have no idea how I'm going to watch this pay-per-view, but you know who is going to be at that pay-per-view? Our boy John Cena, who started the show. John Cena came out, and the crowd was going crazy. Bam, 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 bam. You can't see me. Oh, five knuckle shuffle. Anyway, John Cena came in, said, hey, I'm where I played college back in the day in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm almost, back where I was born and shit like that. I think he was born in Boston. I think they're going to be there on Friday. And to make a long story short, he just basically said, look, Brock Lesnar, I'm going to face you at Wrestlepalooza. You always come back here. You always beat my ass. But this time it's going to be different. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat you. 1, 2, 3. He didn't say that, but he is going to beat his ass at Wrestlepalooza. I can't see Brock Lesnar beating John Cena. I can't see John Cena losing it all, except in his last match, which will probably be against Gunther. Just a little spoiler that I've also thrown out there before. Now, before the show started, we had the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, walking into the arena, and LA Knight came and was like, yo, what the fuck, Jay? You speared me last week. What's your problem? Blah, 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 blah. And Pierce was like, listen, you two in my office now, or I'm going to cut your paychecks and you're not going to get paid. And I'm just going to run what happened through this, okay? So they go into Adam Pearce's locker room. LA Knight's like, look, I want Braun Breaker. I want Bronson Reed tonight. I want them in a tag match. Adam Pearce is like, all right, go pick your partner. Go ahead. And LA Knight's like, I'm going to pick Jimmy Uso. Jay's like, yo, you can't pick my brother. We got a match at Wrestlepalooza. That's my bro. Nah. And then later on in the night, LA Knight went up to Jimmy and was like, yo, Jimmy, I need a partner for the night. And he's like, nah, dog. He's like, I ain't going to go against my bro. My bros don't want this to happen. I don't want to come between you guys. It ain't happening. Then later on in the night, Jimmy and Jay meet up. And Jay starts telling Jimmy, you shouldn't do this. I'm telling you not to be in this match tonight. And Jimmy's like, nah, dog, you ain't going to tell me what to do. You don't got no Ula Fala. Damn. And then Jimmy went to LA Knight and was like, yo, I'll be your partner tonight. And that's what's going to happen. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker versus Jimmy and LA Knight. We got to our first match, Lara Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. Almost fucked that up. Basic match between both of them. Wasn't the greatest match that they've ever put on. You got Raquel Rodriguez who tried to interfere. She got thrown out of the match. It basically came down to Lara Valkyria was locked into a crossface by Perez, and she reversed it into the Nightwing for the 1, 2, 3. This match is definitely getting it down. And following the match, Bayley came down because, of course, Raquel Rodriguez came back out. They started beating the shit out of Lara Valkyria, and then Bayley started beating them up, and then she was like, my head, I don't know what's happening here. And then started hugging everybody. So she turned into defending Lara Valkyria to the hugger gimmick. I guess she's just going to be this insane woman who's going through some kind of crap. I don't like it. That is also going to get a down. Then we had in the back, Io Sky was talking to Steffi Valkyria and Adam Pearce. He's like, look, you guys are signed for Wrestlepalooza. I hope you guys have a great match. They're saying, I hope we have a good one, blah, blah, blah. Asuka comes in, starts screaming at Stephanie Valkyria, and basically says, listen, tonight, Kairi Sane is going to face you one-on-one. And Kairi Sane's like, what? And that match will happen later on in the night. But first, we have to get through Kofi Kingston versus Penta. Of course, you got New Day and Grayson Waller trying to get the Mexican Destroyer signed and banned from wrestling. This match was, it was alright. There was a couple good spots. Kofi Kingston kind of kicked Penta off the apron, and then he did a double stomp to the outside. It came down to basically a Mexican Destroyer by Penta. 1, 2, 3. Kofi loses. Penta picks up the victory. I'm giving this an up. And since I'm just talking about Penta, let's talk about what happened later in the night. As Dominic Mysterio was getting interviewed about his victory with the AAA Championship, there was some pipes and shit banging in the back. And it was basically the New Day beating the shit out of Penta, and Penta had his glove off, so they might have fucked up his hand. Hopefully this brings in fucking Rey Fenix, and then we got Penta and Rey Fenix as a tag team, because that is what we need in the tag team division. Post haste. Like, we need that, like, 7 months ago. I don't know what to tell you guys. Then we had Seth and Becky having a little, talk to AJ and CM Punk. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm getting kind of bored of this shit. I know AJ Lee has just been injected into this thing and it's supposed to bring life into all of this, but I've heard the same shit out of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch and CM Punk for the last couple months, and hopefully this is going to be really good at Wrestlepalooza. It's going to be AJ's first match back. Now, the biggest thing about it was CM Punk and AJ kind of like made a little rift in between Rollins and Becky, and they were like bickering with each other, and then like Becky rolled out of the ring because AJ slapped Rollins, and he's like, yo, my wife's gonna fuck you up now, and Becky's like, I ain't doing shit. And as Becky went out of the ring and Rollins went chasing after him, CM Punk went after Rollins, and then Becky came in and gave a manhandle slam to AJ Lee, and then CM Punk went in the ring, checked on AJ, and then Becky slapped CM Punk. I don't know. I mean, look, it had CM Punk and AJ Lee. I guess I had to like that part, but I don't know. Hopefully at Wrestlepalooza it's a banging match, because if this is shitty and AJ takes the pin or CM Punk takes the pin, I don't know where it goes from here. All right, let's talk about the next thing that happened. El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. I'm going to be honest with you. They are fucking incredible in the ring. They are terrific luchador. Well, I mean, one's a luchador. One is just a guy wearing a luchador mask, Ludo Kaiser. But he does a very good job as pretending that he is a Mexican luchador. They did a lot of high-flying moves, Hurricane Ranas. They did Liger bombs. They did a lot of jumps to the outside. There was one fucking thing where Dragon Lee ran through the ropes and like crashed into El Grande Americano on the announcer's desk. Basically came down to 2 extra Americanos coming out. AJ Styles tried to come out to, kind of even out the odds. Didn't happen, caused a distraction. And then you had the original El Grande Americano who was in the match, pin Dragon Lee, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting all confused about all these Americanos. I'm going to give this an up because it was entertaining, but I'm going to give it a down 2 because I'm getting sick and tired of all the interference in all these goddamn matches. Laura Vaquero went to look for Bayley to say thank you for helping me out. Bayley was like talking to herself and shit like that. Laura Vaquero opened up the door, and Bayley's like, yo, who the fuck told you to come in here? This is my locker room. Stay the fuck out, and ran off. Crazy Bayley. All right, then what else do we have? Stephanie Valkyrie versus Kairi Sane. I'll just cut to the chase. Stephanie Valkyrie beat Kairi Sane with the Stephanie Valkyrie bomb. 1, 2, 3. It's going to get in. Because I don't know the last time that I've seen Stephanie Valkyrie in the ring. All right, and finally, the last match was Jimmy and LA Knight versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Cut to the chase. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker took the win. Here came Jay with the equalizer with the chair because everyone's getting beat up in the ring. Then, they rolled out. LA Knight came in, BTF. Boom, 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 boom. That's how we ended Raw. Raw's getting it down. Anyway, my name is Aaron. Thank you for joining me. 8 minutes with Aaron. I will see you next time. We'll go more stuff, more things, and of course, more of me. See y'all later. Bye-bye.